Hi, I'm Omar Zenhom for Tuts Plus, and in this third part of this series, Marketing Your New Online Business, we're going to be talking about how you can market by using somebody else's audience. When we're first getting started, our audience might be quite small, our mailing list might be quite small, so we don't have many people to talk to. So what we want to do is we want to get in front of an audience that is similar to ours, an audience that's in our market. Now the first thing you want to do is build relationships. You can't just approach somebody in your market and say, hey, can I guest blog on your blog? No, you want to build relationships with people. You want to get to know them. And the best way is to get engaged in their own website. So you want to get to their blog, maybe read their articles, comment on them, get engaged. Maybe you want to have a conversation with them over email. Get to know them a bit. Build a relationship first. One of the fastest ways to do this is to go to a major conference or a retreat. You may want to go to something that has a lot of people in your market where you can get to know, have dinner with, and know who they are. So when you approach them to get in front of their audience, it's not a cold call. Some people call this networking, but really what you're doing is building relationships. You want to build relationships with other people in your market. So let's talk about guest blogging. Now guest blogging is basically writing an article for somebody else's blog. Some blogs offer this feature where they allow people to guest on their blog, that they're a guest writer. Now, if you have the opportunity to guest blog, what you want to do is you want to write an article that is catered to that audience. Don't just write any kind of article that's, generic. You want to write that caters to the people that will be reading your article. Make sure your guest blog post is high on value. One of the best pieces of writing that you can produce. A lot of people write their best writing when they guest blog because what they're trying to do is they want people to get interested in you as a writer, as a content creator. So therefore, at the end of the post, they'll see who you are and where your website is and click through and get to your website and know about you. Another thing you could do is guest emailing. Now, what you could do is you can approach somebody in your market that shares your audience and say, hey, I have something I would love to tell your audience. Do you have something that you want to tell my audience? And you can exchange emails to each other's audience. So for example, let's say you have a great article on your website that you want to share to that audience, to that, other person's audience. So what you want to do is you want to write an email to them, a template email saying, hey, can you send this out to your email list talking about this article and where they can find it and how they can benefit from this article, and I'll do the same for an article on your website and send it out to my list. Now remember, none of this can be done until you build a relationship. You have to build a relationship first with these people that you're reaching out to. So make sure you do that either live or through email or through their blog itself or Skype or social media. There's a lot of ways you can get in contact with them and build a relationship. Another technique is interviewing. Now, you can approach these people that are in your market and say, hey, I would love to interview you for my blog or for my podcast or my video series. And you can build a relationship that way. You can also be featured on somebody's interview. People that have podcasts or video series on YouTube, they're always looking for new guests. So you can approach them and say, hey, this is what I do. This is my business. I would love to be a guest on your podcast or on your show. And more likely than not, they're going to say yes because they're looking for people that are interesting that they can approach and interview. Another technique is speaking at a live event or speaking in person. So you don't need to do this at the national scale or at a major convention. You can get started locally. I did this personally, where you can just start locally in your local town, in a local meetup, or maybe even just at a co-working space somewhere close to your home, where you can offer a class or a talk for a small group of people. This gives you another platform for people to find out about you. This gives you another platform for you to actually capture. You can video this or take pictures and put it on your website and offer that to your visitors online. So speaking is a great way to reach out to people in real life. Smaller gigs can build into bigger gigs later on, and maybe a few years down the line you can speak at the national level. Alright guys, let's wrap up this series. As you can see, there are many ways you can market online, but the important thing is that before you start marketing, make sure you're ready, your website's ready, you have content to market with. Make sure you're exposing yourself to all the different, avenues. You can use video marketing and social media marketing, podcasts. We talked about that in video 2. You can also do things where you share your expertise with other people's audiences. You can get in front of people's audiences and get to know them and build your audience through theirs. So there are many ways, but the important thing is to get going, get working. Now you can download the workbook that we offer to help you out. I encourage you to get started and start building your content so you can start marketing your new online business successfully. Thanks again. Take care.